What's going on, everybody? It's G Walker, the CNG Podcast. And I got my partners with me. I got Alan, I got CJ. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on with the Chicago Bears, but they are hit with a $160 million tax bill. And investors are coming in because they didn't do the proper thing as far as having an heir to the throne, so to speak, after Virginia McCaskey died. So it's been a couple of things that's been coming out about that. And I'm going to get my boy Alan's opinion on that first, because even though Virginia had 22% in stake in the company, but they're looking to share some of her shares. So, Alan, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I would like to say, man, it's kind of unfortunate that the planning wasn't already in lockstep. Because I kind of remember the Los Angeles Lakers situation with Dr. Buzz, right. And they put their team into a trust, and they avoided those the death taxes. And California is a whole lot worse than Illinois. I think they were going to be north of 500 or 600 million in California. So they made sure before he passed, they put the Lakers into a revocable trust. And so what kind of irks me is that you had Ted Phillips and other business individuals that was hired for all these years, and nobody sat down with the family with all the millions of dollars you got in legal retainers, and nobody sat down and put you guys in a situation where you wouldn't have to forego all these different, I would say, liens to the team. So that's a lot of money that you gotta find somebody to invest when you could have just did this 2 or 3 years ago when she was in decent health and just go ahead and set up for the rainy day. But they were not ready for the rainy day.
Yeah, CJ, because I'm gonna read some of this stuff because they don't have the assets on cash, and I think her name is Peggy. It's federal taxes, and they're leaning on Patrick Ryan, who does have that money, so he's gonna have access to it. I think he's a friend of the family, so they're gonna get this thing moving pretty soon, man. Because federal taxes I think in 9 months. So CJ, man, just what's your thoughts on this, man? Because this is something that could have been taken care of, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, man, it's sad. It's sad to hear. You know, that the family did not have the right people around them to make sure that this wouldn't happen. You know, you got to have a good team around you to make sure things like this don't happen to you.
Right. Because it's looking like the Sharks are not coming for them, but they already got people in mind because it already got people in mind. It's just the fact that this could have been handled, man. This really couldn't have been handled. And the Andrew McKinnon state, I think Andrew McKinnon is worth $12 billion. So they're looking for people that got a lot of money to help them with this tax bill. So that's how the game goes, CJ. If you want us to help them, Alan, if you want us to help you, you're gonna have to give us a piece of the mountain, got to give us a piece of the rock. So they're gonna split that 160 million to whoever can come up and be an investor, right, Alan?
That's right. Look, what's the old saying? Let me wet my beak. That's what they're gonna have with them investors. If you're gonna give me something wet my beak, I want to make sure that I get something in writing and have a substantial piece of the franchise. Now, I'm interested to see with these investors coming along, how would a power struggle go? I know the McCaskies still had a majority, but if they want somebody else to run the franchise, they can have say in it more than what they could have, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. It's really just unfortunate. So we just wanted to get in here and talk to you guys real quick, just in case you guys have not seen this. The Chicago Bears owe $160 million tax bill, and they don't have the actual cash assets to give that type of money up. So they're just looking for people that's going to invest, people that want to wet their beak, as Alan said, and get a piece of the rock. And that looks like the Andrew McKinnon estate, and that looks like the I think the Ryan people. And they're friends of the family. So here we are once again dealing with stuff from the Chicago Bears family and the brain trust of the family that didn't take care of things that they should have took care of decades ago. And it don't even make no sense because when, like Alan said, when she was alive, they shouldn't have handled. So CJ, what's just your most frustrating thing about this whole process? Do you think this will actually end up holding up the stadium as well?
You will hope not, but maybe it will because of the money that they're going to be owing. unless the investors come in and do what they got to do. But it really is just, it's just like they're not prepared, man. And we keep hearing this about this Bears team. They're not prepared this way to handle this. They're not prepared this way to handle that.
Right.
It's like we're supposed to be the best, one of the best franchises in the NFL, a long franchise in the NFL. And you would think a team like the Bears would be ahead of something like this.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is CNG Podcast. I'm G Walker. That's Alan. That's CJ. And we out of here. Peace.